All right, so this is the first podcast I've done, and hopefully the first of many. Hopefully, if I get decent at it as we
Hopefully,
go.
hopefully.
That's it, man. United goes. So bro, name. What's your Instagram? What's your like? Who are you, bro? Little synopsis of who you are and where people can find you. Instagram, Twitter, all them things. I don't know what you got.
Okay, so my name is Jordan. I predominantly skate and I fly FPV drones,
Damn.
trying to build up my portfolio in the drone scene. Got a few videos here and there. If you want to check me out on Instagram, that's going to be Lord Simba 2ND, so Lord Simba the second. And for my drone piloting stuff, it's going to be FPV Lad. But yeah, been skating for probably about 14 years and started this drone thing last year. But it's going good. It's going good.
That's sick, man. So hold up. Sorry. So I got some questions, right? So you've been skating
Go.
14 years. Most of that is ice
Yeah.
skating, right?
Yeah.
Most of that's ice skating. How long was the ice skating thing?
I started that back in 2005. Yeah, it was
Damn.
2005. And I only sort of stopped skating when I stopped, pretty much when it closed down for the COVID stuff, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was going in dribs and drabs and stuff. But yeah, I used to work there, so that helped.
Was that Ali Pali?
That was.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I used to be a manager there.
All right. I see you.
I used to see you lot skating past as well.
Bruv, you know
I
what,
used to
yeah?
be so jealous.
You see? Because when your skating stops, that's when my skating starts, bro. Do you know what I mean? You can't bring the
Exactly.
ice outside, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was the thing for me anyway, because I think I used to ice skate a little bit. I was terrible. Never good at all. Um, but you know what? You know what's funny? Yeah, I used to get obviously because I didn't have ice skates, so I just had the hired skates, and I feel like
Hmm.
they're so bad you can't get good in them.
It's arguable, but I agree.
Okay,
It is. It takes some serious talent for you to get good in those blue wellies.
bro, blue wellies. Yeah, that is it.
That's what I call them, blue wellies.
Cool. That's it. That's what I'm gonna call them because I'm always looking for a name, and they're so like big and clunky, and you know what I mean. Anyway,
Oh mate, they weigh like a kilo each. So,
each side, brother, I come out legs swollen as shit, bro.
you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, so I think I went ice skating a few times up there, right?
Hmm.
And I remember really like deep in this ain't for me, yeah. And I think maybe I had just started skating a little bit as well.
Okay.
So I don't know I must have been what maybe 10. Terrible at both anyway. But I decided I was gonna just stick to the skating thing, and obviously,
Okay.
brother, it's almost I think it's April when I started, so it's almost 18 years that I've been skating, bro.
Raw.
Yeah, long time,
That's a long time, man. That's
bro,
that's that's people's whole lives there, you know?
brother. I'm
Like
telling you.
just entering adulthood.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
a very long time.
Do you know what I mean, bro? Yeah, man. Long
Yeah,
time, bro.
man.
Long time. Yeah. So maybe here's a better question. Yeah, just to kind of
Okay.
move on the topic. So I'm just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like breaking down your intro, right? So
Yeah,
you
of course,
fly,
of course.
yeah. So you fly drones, yeah. I got
Yes.
one question. What's going on with the
Yeah.
weather, bro? If you can see all the way up there, what's going on with the weather, brother?
Oh no, I can't go that high, but I can answer for that. We're in England.
Bro, bro, that's a big thing,
England is
man.
horrible for this weather, bro.
Trust me, trust me. I
It's
mean,
only
what?
summertime we've been getting decent weather for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but you see, when you say decent, I'm thinking like hot but still kind of breezy, bro. It when you go
Okay.
outside, it's like being in an oven.
Yeah, it's because it's humid as well here.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just solving the world's problems in a few minutes, bro. Stop the humidity.
Yeah.
Simple.
Just sling a couple of absorbers out there, all good.
That's it, bro. That's it. So how did you get into the drone thing?
It's actually quite random. I first, basically, I was watching a couple of videos to just go to sleep to.
Yeah.
strangely enough, and sort of like atmospheric, like slow shots. And I was like, how are they doing this?
Mm.
So put two and two together, it must be drones. I've done my own little research and I found that there's more than one style of drone. So after finding the DJI, I want to say cinematic style drone, I started to find FPV drones.
Okay.
With FPV drones, it's a lot faster. You can achieve essentially the same thing, but it's all manual control.
Right.
So there's no assistance in it,
Okay.
which is pretty cool in my eyes.
Yeah.
Means that you have to take it all over yourself instead of just letting it fly on its own.
Right. Right. And I guess I don't know. Like, is there many practical uses for that? Like, do they use those kinds of drones for racing? Because I
Yeah,
see the drone racing thing.
yeah, mate, drone racing is fast, like
Yeah.
extremely fast. The fastest one that I've seen, like just in videos and stuff, it hit 180 mile an hour.
Flipping hell, bruv.
It's insane. It is insane. My thing does about 70, 80. Like
Yeah.
one of mine does. So, and that's fast enough. Like it shoots across any land that I'm like flying it across.
Mm.
But it's really fun, man. Definitely
Flipping
fun.
hell.
I want to get a couple more videos of you guys as
Yeah,
well.
man,
We need to
bro.
do this.
Yeah, we definitely set out. We definitely set out. But
I'm in the middle of building. That's my
yes,
only holdback right now.
I see. I see you. I see your stuff on Insta, man. I like that. I like I guess the idea that you can assemble this thing and you just
Mm,
trialing and erroring it. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully you
yeah,
kind of put it together right, and then hopefully it flies. And if it don't, you gotta kind of take it back and work on it. You know?
exactly,
That's
exactly.
sick, man.
Every step of the way is a hurdle,
Yeah,
but it's a learning curve that I'm happy to be a part of.
yeah. I can imagine. I mean, it's a very interesting thing. So, is there regulations to the things that you can do? So I know you can't fly over certain buildings and stuff like that. But like, are you
Yeah,
regulated by like? I don't really know much about drones.
no, of course, it's actually not common knowledge.
Right.
I wish it was. That way, less people would be on your back, kind of thing.
Right.
So there is a company called the FAA, to what I can remember,
Hmm.
and what they do is they regulate how pilots can fly and the knowledge of information that they have absorbed from the guidelines to make sure. So there's a test involved. There's two styles of test. There's one which would just be theory based, which is how I've passed so far. So I'm not doing anything commercial, of course.
Okay.
And then you have the commercial license, which would allow you to do cinematics, and that would allow you to basically just go out. You could make any money off of whatever you wanted to, and you'd be covered via license, and you would have insurance as well to go with it.
Raw. That's sick. See,
Uh,
I thought it was a pick up and play thing. Like, I didn't know you had to like really. I didn't know that stuff.
it, it was a pick up and play until late last year.
Yeah.
Uh, they introduced, so you could get smaller ones. I don't have one to hand. One second, I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah. Show me, bro.
Oh, so you have smaller ones. I built this one not long ago.
Nice.
That would be that weighs less than 250 grams. So
Raw.
the law before would have been under 250 grams, and you're okay to fly. You don't need a license or anything like that.
Sick.
But anything above 250, you have to pay for it, such as this.
Okay. Right.
So I finished building this one today.
Flip it
This
over.
one works perfectly, thankfully.
Yeah. That's sick, man. I like that. That's such an interesting hobby to have, man. Like crafting stuff and then you kind of make it work. You know what I mean? Like I remember they used to
Yeah.
do. Remember they used to have those like subscription magazines, and you go in there and like every week there's a new piece.
I was talking to someone about this the other day.
Bro, what happened? Wait, me and you are the same age, right? How old are you, bro?
28.
Okay, I'm 25. Yeah, so I guess me and
Okay.
you we're like in the same. We're in the
We're in the
same.
same bracket, same
Yeah,
generation.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I remember they used to do like there was so many they used to do, but I remember there was some specific ones But like if you missed one, you kind of missed the whole set. Then you had to like special order them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was for the last one that I remember would have been like RC cars.
right. I think that's
They
what I'm
were
thinking about.
because it was random parts and you had to buy every week
Yeah,
to be able to assemble it.
I've
And a lot of the time you couldn't even get the the new one because the shops wouldn't update it until they sold out all of the ones they had.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes you'd miss like a whole subscription week basically, or maybe even two.
I mean, brother, it's good marketing, man. For back in the day when you couldn't really have things sent to your house like that,
Mm,
like it's
yeah,
good marketing, bruv.
it was internet weren't really around like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, what are you gonna wait a whole 2 hours for your internet to dial up, and then you got to order the thing,
Safe. I'm good. You remember how I used to go? "Brrrr"?
bro, bro? So many times, just like, you know what? I don't even mind. Whatever, man. I don't want to be on the internet today. I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah, or you're mid conversation with someone or mid mini clip game, and then the phone
Bro,
rings. That's it. You're
don't
logged
even
off.
get me started on the mini clip games, bro. Don't even get me started, bro. You're killing it, and next thing you know, mum's on the phone. The phone rings, done, finish.
Oh mate, that used to drive me up the wall.
That's what I'm saying. But
And
these are the
I didn't have internet till I was 14 as well. Like shit.
okay, right. So I've always been in like a internet house, even when it was like quite primitive. Like
Okay.
I've always had internet. My mum was
Hmm.
in graphics when I was growing up. So
Okay.
we were always about the tech. She bought an Apple, like she bought a Mac real early, and we had a PC as well. But
Sick.
half the time, it's like like when phones are new or like mobile phones and
Mm.
stuff, you be like the first one in the class to have a phone. Then no one else ain't got a phone. So who you gonna call?
Yeah.
Nothing else to
I
do
know. Yeah.
other than play
That's
Snake.
for real.
That's the only
For
thing, bro.
real.
That's real interesting,
Yeah, for
man.
real.
That's real interesting. I'm very interested in the drone thing, but I feel like it's a lifestyle choice. You know what I mean? Like you kind of, I don't think it's a hobby. I think it's more of a lifestyle choice.
I'd say it's both.
Yeah.
You either put your all into it
Mm.
or you half-ass do it and then put it this way. If you have a crash, for example,
Yeah.
and you break something, if you're only going to go into it half-assed, you're probably not going to fix it for a couple of months,
Right.
and then
Right.
you're not
Right.
really continuing the hobby.
Yeah.
So it's something that you have to put a lot of time and money into it.
Mm.
Like shit, this is the money pit.
Right.
Yeah,
What would you say in terms of, all right, so let's say for me, right, I don't know nothing about drones.
of course.
If I'm trying to break in, what's
Hmm.
like expenses and time? So like what's the like how many hours would it take me to from scratch start a new drone, and how much do I need? What's the upfront cost?
If you wanted to just get into it
Yeah.
and like you didn't want to have to build anything,
Mm.
like just own one and
Yeah.
have the whole kit up, whole setup, I would say you could probably start off for about 180 odd quid.
That's not
That's
that
where I
bad.
would put the decent mark.
Right.
Yeah, there's a few things that'll be a bit cheaper and they're okay, but 180 would be your mark, and that's going to be fairly low end, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
Um, it would so that would be RTR, ready to run. But if you wanted to build something, you have to brush up on all of your electronics understandings. You'd have to learn to solder. I didn't get taught to solder in school, so I had to teach myself at big
Trust.
27, 28, you know.
DT, man.
Yeah, it's mad, but I wish we all taught these things in school.
Bro, we can go. We're definitely gonna get into that. We're definitely gonna get into that. There's a few
Yeah, yeah.
topics that I got right. So just to kind of peel back the curtain, we didn't really have
Hmm.
much of a conversation about what we was gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I just kind of approached you. I was like, bro, we got some good chemistry, man. Let's chat for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But some things that I wanted to speak on were obviously we'll get into them, but like I do have a bit of a plan, just so you know what I mean. But we're just kind of free
Okay.
falling it. Um, yeah, okay. So let's say I'm not really like I don't want to buy something. I want to like get into making stuff. Like I'm just quite
Yeah.
interested in like the idea of upfront cost. Like because for me, when people ask me about skates, so like what do I get? it's not too
Yeah.
bad because you can get a real cheap pair of skates, £60,
Yeah.
and use them until you beat them up, and then you buy some new ones.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you don't have to like fork out a lot of money. Like buying a PC, for example, right? You buy a
Yeah.
PC, you got to spend at least £500 to get something decent,
Hmm.
something like that. So yeah, I think the upfront cost, especially to open up the kind of the, I don't know what you call it, just to open up the road for people that people who want to come
Yeah.
in, yeah, and like get into a building. Like, what would you say? How much did you put down?
For my first build, I would say just because I didn't want the bottom of the bottom of the barrel parts, even
Right.
though I was starting out and learning, I
Yeah.
still wanted a little bit of quality in there.
Right.
So I'd say it probably cost me about 180 to 230, but that's just for the drone alone.
Okay.
Then you have to take into consideration the batteries. So your lipo batteries, I've got one here. Uh, this alone, one of these
Fire.
cost me. That one in particular cost me, I think it was 18.99.
Damn.
Uh, these ones cost. I've got another one here. This one cost me. It's got a bit of rubber band on it. But this one cost me about 24.99.
Okay.
But I've got quite a few.
Yeah.
There's different ratings to them, so they cater to each of your drones
Hmm.
basically. So my smaller ones, like my smaller drone that I built here, that will have much smaller batteries, uh, such as these.
Okay.
Massive difference in size.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But yeah, no, you could get say 10 of them for about 20 odd quid.
That's pretty cool,
Uh,
man.
you also would need a headset, so a controller. This basically is kind of like a VR goggle
Yeah.
in a sense. So all it is, just put your VR goggles on, and anywhere that you fly, you can see. You don't have to keep following it with your head or anything
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
There's set ranges that you can go up to. There's some models where you can get 2 miles out of them. Some of them you can get, maybe like 10 to 20 miles. It's all
Flipping out.
about battery life and all sorts.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the headset, I'd say the headset cost me, I think the headset cost me 115 at the time. But as I was starting out, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it.
Right.
I didn't know which direction to sort of go in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then you still have to get a controller, a handset. I don't have mine to hand at the moment. I think I spent about 150 on that. And then you also have to buy a charger as well because you don't get a charger,
Flipping out.
and that costs about 110.
That's quite a pretty penny. But I guess
Yeah.
it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like skiing, yeah. You can
Mm,
buy all the gear and stuff and everything, but
yeah.
the expensive thing is going to do it unless you live next to a slope.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of time to get into, but
Yeah.
once you get the ball rolling, it's so fun. You don't really want to stop.
Right. I like that, man. I think you're a good representation for the drone community, bro.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you. Trying to expand it out here, you know?
That's it. I like it, man. I like it. I like it. Um, that's dope, man. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I guess we've had like similar conversations in the past,
Mm,
on a bit of a more of a serious tone. Obviously, the news has been this like, I don't know. It's kind of propagandous at the moment. Like it's
yeah,
they're really trying to spin a specific narrative, right?
yeah.
I'm sure you're not much of a news watcher, as I'm not either, but up to date,
Barely.
yeah, up to date in current events though, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right,
I couldn't tell you the figures, but I could tell you what those figures really are.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So previously I had a little, I wouldn't really say it was a podcast, but it was a thing that we did on Instagram, um,
Hmm.
as a response to the Black Lives Matter movement in the US. So this was
Hmm.
just a few weeks out of the riots, right? Of
Okay.
the protests, right? A few weeks out of the
Yeah.
protests.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say that's a better word to use because it wasn't really.
yeah, way better word,
Yeah.
way better word.
Way better word. Yeah. Go on.
Um, yeah, and I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you and I have good conversations about things like that. So I kind of wanted to just talk, because obviously, it's something that's quite important to me, and
Hmm.
especially with like this lockdown stuff all happening at the same time. I think it's very important for us to shed some light on just kind of how we're feeling as black men in the UK
Yeah.
with a kind of stigma behind like all this Black Lives Matter stuff. Um,
Yeah.
what's in terms of getting to this place where we kind of have this level of equality?
Mm.
How do you think we find that, like, that level of equality thing? Like, how do you think we get what we want? It's a huge question. I'm not expecting you to.
It is a huge question.
I don't want you to solve it, but if you want to break it down, you can break it down. But how do we get
I
there,
have a
bro?
basis. I do have a basis. I think about quite a lot of random shit. To be
Right.
fair, this would be one of the ones I think of.
Let me know.
So I feel like the basis for us to be able to move forward
Mm,
isn't necessarily just in equality. It would more, in my eyes, it would need to cater toward equity in a sense. So
right.
instead of having given the exact same plateau from now, so some people are better off, like because of their family history, they didn't have to go through the hard struggles. Giving them the exact same playing field as someone who is homeless isn't necessarily equal, is it?
Right.
Yes, they both live on the same land, but they've had two different starts. So two different starts. So if we were to bring the bar a little bit higher, so we had just from our government, for example, so not necessarily give us money, but give us a not a space, a plateau to start off of.
Mm-hmm.
So if the predominant ethnicity is going to be white that would work in West End, is going to be up here when they come into the world. Why not give everyone else the same plateau?
Right.
That's because I know I didn't start in a good place. I was a little shit in school.
Right.
But let's say I did live in a better area. I didn't go to the same sort of school. I would have had better opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had the same opportunities as someone else
Yeah.
because they are well off. They get better opportunities.
Yeah.
So I feel like that plays a major role in it. Through history, we already know that we had people brought in, just for example, the Windrush era. We know that we had people brought in to rebuild the country after the wars. But what sort of reparations were dealt for that? There's still not a lot of black families and foreign families that are out there and up doing well in the world.
Right.
It's all come up of their own volition later on when they
Mm.
were accepted. During the time of where we weren't exactly accepted, we still had to push through.
Yeah.
By us pushing through, we've managed to get to where we are, but it's not. I feel like we've got a long road to go ahead.
Definitely. I agree. I
It'll
definitely
take a lot
agree.
of time, but we can do this.
That's a very interesting way to think about it. I mean, we kind of snapped from like talking about drones and like to get into like this real deep stuff,
Yeah, for
right?
real.
Um,
Push
but
my
yeah,
buttons, bro.
that's it, man. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, bro. Trying to keep you moving around. Um, I mean, this is the stuff that I'm quite passionate about speaking about. I mean,
Hmm.
but mostly listening to ideas, right?
Hmm.
You
Okay.
you spoke about, I guess, just trying to be on a plateau level. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, yeah. I guess so. I would agree with you, right? In the sense that I think it would make more sense, not just for us as people
Hmm.
to be on like a baseline
Yeah.
of like even just having like basic needs met, right? Like being able to go to a
Yes.
decent school, being able to get a decent level of education, being like
Hmm.
having or just having the option to. So if you're,
Agreed.
if you decide to be a little shit, it's not because you don't have the option to be better, right? Now,
Half agree. Half agree. Yeah, go.
I mean, in the sense that like when we get, if we had that plateau level, it would be a
Yeah.
choice not to be better than you are. Whereas now people don't really have the choice. If you live in a real shit place, it's hard for you
Yeah.
to focus on school, or it's hard for you to focus on being a better person because you got so
Yeah.
much other shit going on, right? But the
Of course.
idea
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
to have the
I agree.
option to be a shit or to be really good.
I agree.
Right.
I understand.
Okay. So I'm there as well. I think the idea. So for me, I've never really been a big fan on government, right? I mean,
Oh,
what a
same.
surprise, right? Do you know what I mean?
Corruption, mate.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Hmm.
And I think those who can will, for the most part. And I don't think that's a very controversial thing to say. Those who can will do it.
Yeah.
I think more so, I'm looking at ourselves and what we can do for how we move along the line and then upwards.
Yeah.
And I think where we kind of lack is the idea of unity and consistency. Education and
Yes.
all these other things, economy and things like that, definitely are into it. But I
They
think at the
definitely
very,
fall in, but
yes, yeah. But I think at the very, very baseline of where we are, we lack the idea. It's like for instance, right? I know I don't know you very well, but I know that you're good people.
thank you, my bro.
So
I know you're good people too, man.
that's it, man. Try your best, bro. That's it, man. But when I'm thinking about doing a podcast, I'm like, cool, Michelle Jordan. There was no problem, right? I didn't have to like coerce you. I didn't have to come to your house and wait outside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sent you a message. You was like, cool. Let's fuck around. Let's play with it and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is quite a novel mindset that we have, especially as people.
Yeah.
That idea just to support, just because you support, not because it's gonna gain you anything. Because, bro, I'm just gonna be honest with you. There's a high likelihood that nobody will see this.
It's the truth. It is the truth.
You know
But
what
at
I'm
the same
saying?
time, it's like I'm not even looking at it as oh yeah, I want it to be seen and what stuff. Not that I don't want it to be seen, of
Right.
course. So I will support the thing always.
Of course.
But I haven't put thought into like, oh, people are gonna watch this or like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it's life. Like we're having a conversation, it gets recorded, we see where it goes, kind of thing.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the idea and the mindset that we need to get back to, because we all know that black people who do because of something coming along the line, right?
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't really think that that's a bad thing. I think that that's a taught behavior, like to
Yeah.
try and advance yourself with any opportunity, right?
Yeah. Not a guided opportunity in a sense.
Yes.
So amongst our community, we're sort of shown something across the board, especially growing up. So if you're watching movies, predominantly in a movie, there's going to be a black guy who's a drug dealer, or he's going to be a gangster, or just something along those lines, like just a regular workman, but never anything too great. So then you set your standards for yourself kind of low based on what you see,
Right.
thinking that maybe you can't have these things. But then having a role model who is in those situations or is striving for those situations, and you see them make it, it can make us push. Like seeing your boys start a business from nothing, and it's like, wow, I'm so proud of you. What can I do to either help, get involved, or even take pointers from what you're doing so I can start my own thing? At the end of the day, we all just need to support each other.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that.
And instead of asking for discounts, this is the number one thing that gets to me. No discounts. Full price. And if you feel generous, slap an extra 10 or
That's
15
it,
quid
man.
on that.
Tips are welcome.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you, my bro. I didn't have to go anywhere else, but I'm going to pay you extra for your services
That's it, man. That's
because
it.
I want to see you shine.
Right.
But
Right.
there's always ways to do it as well. You don't want to be an asshole who looks like you're just dashing money all over the place. Oh yeah, take the extra tenner. Nah, that's not where it's coming from.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be certain people out there that'll be like, yeah, I'm supporting you in it. Just dash money in someone's face. No, no,
Mm.
no, no.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. And I think obviously we kind of touched a bit on the economy and like
Hmm.
the kind of the idea of getting to a place where money is black and it's passed around the community, you know, and we again
Yeah,
support each other, push each other's ventures, and you know try to just build the black economy as a thing, right?
yeah,
I've spoken a lot about that recently, and I really, bro, honestly, I really want to just buy black, yeah, but it's hard when you only have food stores, because where am I gonna get my toiletries? Do you know what I
hmm,
mean? Where do I buy my socks from, bro?
yeah,
I can buy,
it,
I can get jerk chicken any time of the day.
yeah.
But
I suppose it's so from that perspective, I'd put it down to the demand that is the demand is high, but the needs to supply it is harder to come by.
mm,
So if there's, for example, let's say socks and toiletries, we know we can go to our Primark to get our socks. We know that we can go to a Morrison's or a Boots to get our toiletries. But those are companies that started off small. I find that amongst our communities, we're trying to just do things too snappy, and
yeah,
it's not it's not effective for either the creator of the business nor its customer. So it's good to provide a service that is worth money, of course, but there has to be a foundation where the people that you're trying to do it for can also participate.
mm,
So you find, I don't know if you found any like local brands from the hood, couple man that have got together and done their own thing. You may know a couple people like that, and of course they're paying. They've got to pay the difference between whatever they're paying for each. Just for example, hoodie to have it printed and then postage, and then of course you need to make your own profits.
right,
So until that line is thinned down to the supply for the materials, the printing, until that is worked out to a deal which works out to be cheap enough for people to be able to pay for just everything basically really cheap. So a Primark, for
mm,
example,
mm-hmm,
we would need that sort of supply chain. We need to have those resources more accessible to us.
right. Which means that we need to get more of our people into
Hmm.
manufacturing as opposed to just the selling side.
Hmm.
A can of Coke takes 6p to manufacture,
See?
and they sell it for what, how much is a can of Coke? Bro? Remember when all drinks used to be like 30p?
Yeah. Oh man, do you remember Panda Pops?
Bro, don't even.
It was like 20p.
I was telling my little cousins, just side note, right? I was telling my little cousins the other day about how you could take a pound into the shop and come out with snacks for 2 days.
Yeah, like all 5 bags of crisps,
Bro, it's
two
the
free Freddos, and your
1p,
Panda Pop.
bro, it's the 1p and the 2p sweets. That's where you eat, bro. That's where you eat.
Oh,
You fill up that bag, that's it, man. It's coming out like you robbed the store.
yeah, and when you get to a certain age, it's almost like you're finessing them.
It's
You
true,
don't
bro.
even you don't even count the sweets that you're putting in anymore. You
That's it, man,
fill up the bag and go, here
because you
you
got
go,
all the
boss. Just
maths
like,
up
yeah,
here.
go on a pound.
For real,
It's like,
for real.
yeah, all right.
Bruv, I feel you, man. I mean, I think just kind of getting back to where we are, right?
Hmm.
I guess the next thing to kind of talk about is the whole Amazon thing. So obviously, Amazon is a company that blew up to be one of the biggest companies in the world in our lifetime. By the way, just saying,
Of course, of course.
right? Amazon, who started as a bookstore.
Yeah.
How do we compete when the high street is dwindling? How do we compete with him, bro? Jeff Bezos is winning in every single country that he's present in.
I would put that down to him making it so accessible in our current times. We know that it's very hard for us to even just order Tesco's during the first lockdown.
Right.
to have that order to your house was virtually insane. I think when I tried to do it in the beginning of March, so when we first went into lockdown, I saw the next slot available for, I think it was like April the 3rd. So from the 18th or 17th of March until the 3rd of April,
Mm,
I would have had to have waited to get my food.
right.
But if I was to order, I don't know, an ashtray or a cup or some shit off of Amazon, I could get it the next day. But I know that the demand isn't exactly so high there, but everyone still needs to fulfill these little things that
Right.
you could get from an Argos. You could walk to a Morrison's and get a new iron, for example.
Mm,
But instead of doing that now, oh, let me just push one, two buttons or touch two buttons on your screen,
trust.
and I got my things.
It's true.
Following day,
It's
it's
true.
made it extremely accessible for everything to come in. So if
Mm,
you can do that, you've already set your standard for the market.
you're winning.
Everyone else has to compete with that to
Right.
get to that spot.
Mm. I mean, you just, bro, like I said, you just laid it out there, right? So that's where Amazon is eating. That's their eating. That's their table. They're sitting at that
Hmm.
table and they're just eating. And all these
Yeah,
other places that are trying to provide a similar service don't have
mm,
it down to such a efficient way as Amazon do,
yeah,
which is what makes it so rough. Which is what makes it so rough for everyone else to eat. So
definitely.
we know, as just as people who are, young people and still like, moving through the world, but are growing up with this stuff.
Yeah,
Um, we know that big stores are struggling to find a similar, I guess I don't know, like struggling to find a similar way to do things like
hmm,
Amazon to be so efficient at what they do.
yeah,
So now we're talking about an economy or a group of people who are underneath that, who are trying to come on the up.
yeah,
We all know Rescuing Road, and we all know that there's pure black businesses in there,
yeah,
right? If you're from
exactly.
North London, I mean, even if you're not from North London, like Dees is down there, so most people know where it is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
how do we come up there, bro? Like how can we in the age of convenience where we struggle to, again, like we was talking about manufacturing and all that stuff, we can't
Yeah.
meet that demand. So is it purely just a support thing? Like do we have to go there just because we support the movement, but maybe we won't get the same amount of, like, do we have to take a hit in convenience to support the movement is what I'm asking you.
I'm gonna say yes, definitely.
It's a good
I
answer.
feel like if everyone is trying to be a boss, then there's gonna be no one to manufacture the boss's work.
Right.
So we don't have. It's not to say that we can't all have our own businesses. We definitely can, but we need people to be able to work for us too. So, for example, if I start my own business, I'm gonna need someone who's gonna be able to. If I was selling, I don't know, cream, for example, like cocoa butter cream,
Mm,
I'm gonna need someone to whip up the batch, someone to bottle it, someone to slap my label with all my ingredients on it, box, and then a shop to sell it. And then amongst that, is say we're in lockdown, I'm gonna need someone to deliver that. I'm gonna need to have a website. So I think what a lot of people are forgetting is we seem to put everything on social media because that's the easiest way to do it. So okay, I want to make a lot of money. Best place to start would be social media because it's the day of information for one. So by the flick of a thumb, you can see anything you want, absolutely anything you want in this earth, and we're restricting it just to an Instagram page where then you have to link it to something else,
right.
as opposed to the Instagram post being the advert that would lead you to the website that would efficiently send off the
Right.
product to whoever's buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one part of it. And another part is to have a large supply chain. So if you, instead of having one supplier, you have multiple suppliers for it, but they do the same quality product.
Right.
So I know that you're doing cocoa butter. This person's doing cocoa butter. I can sell both of those on my shelves, and you'll get your piece of everything that I sell. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But everyone just wants to sell what they bring to the table.
Right.
That makes it a competition.
Right.
It's never, let me help you and you help me.
Mm.
There's never any back scratching. It's, you should just buy my stuff because I'm selling it.
Right.
So it's,
Right.
in a sense, it's kind of entitlement, right?
Mm. Definitely,
It's,
bro.
especially when you start a business, you expect your friends to share it. You expect your family to share, but they may not have that exact interest in it. So then, why would they share it? Or they may want to share it, but they know that they're not going to get a lot of feedback from it because it's not something that is largely in demand.
Mm.
So, for example, my missus is a part of, like, she takes part in crystals and spirituality. So for the market, that's a very specific market.
Yes.
It's not it's not a very vast one where for example, computers and phones, everyone needs one or everyone uses one,
Right.
but not everyone has the knowledge of or or has even experienced anyone that has come into contact with crystals and spiritualization. Do you
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's not a thick enough ground for us to be walking on to make large steps. But then there's small plot holes and there's small, you could say, steps that would allow you to get higher, manipulating other sources. So Amazon. Both me and you could get into this Amazon thing.
Right.
We could drop ship. We could literally just provide our own stuff, like vouchers. Oh, here's a voucher for you to come and skate.
It's true,
See
bro.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's using someone else's platform to boost your own.
Mm.
And then the next thing you know, not immediately, of course, but you could be the next Amazon owner,
It's true, bro.
the next Jeff Bezos, the next what's his name, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He, they've all sourced their supplies from elsewhere and allowed that to be their growth. Look at iPhone. They predominantly used Sony products in their phone. Same with Samsung. So it's give and take. We want to progress, but we don't want to give. We just want to take.
Mm.
How do you feel about it?
Bruv, you know what? Yeah, I think you said a lot of the way that I feel about it. Like, I think there's that. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the give and take thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of, you don't come into contact with a lot of people. Like just for example, like right now, yeah, I'm not paying you to be here.
Exactly. I'm here of my own volition.
That's
I
what I'm
wanted to
saying.
try it.
Right, right. So for me and you, it's a mutual thing, right? But let's
Mm-hmm.
say we do this and something happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
You eat off that, and I eat off that,
Yeah.
and to the same degree, if nothing happens, nobody eats. But at the end of the day, it's a nice conversation. It's a good, no. There's no, you don't lose here,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like it's the same thing. It's the same thing with a lot of our black businesses and a lot of the people that you and I, who are of the age to have those kind of role models, we won't be able to see that
Yeah.
because they don't work in unity and harmony. They don't work together for the bigger goal, which is to push forward what we're trying to do. It's to push
Yeah.
forward the economy, push forward the people, and let us eat from a different table rather than, for example, I live in Tottenham, right? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're close, right?
Wood Green. So
Right,
I'm right around the corner.
right. So, but the idea, yeah, is that you don't have to live in Wood Green. That's the idea, yeah. That you don't, you
Yeah.
can choose to live in Wood Green, just like other people, right? There's people who have the luxury of choosing where they live,
Yeah.
and I think that having that opens you up to so many more things. And again, like it's not like we don't have any people who own businesses. There's lots of
Hmm.
black businesses all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's that choice that you make, the choice that you make not to be mutually beneficial to somebody else because you feel like it might step over your brand.
Of course, of course.
And I
If you
think
have a need for something, for example,
right,
so just for example, you needed a camera,
yeah,
you wouldn't be able to go to your boy and like, yo, can I let me get a camera from you,
mm,
unless he's a supplier of it.
right,
So in a sense, it's like if you're not providing the channels to be able to give me what I need, then there's no way for me to adapt to you.
mm,
Just because you're selling the newest bootcut jeans doesn't mean I like bootcut jeans.
right,
Doesn't mean that that's going to be catered to me. So I
mm,
might not want to share that.
yeah,
I might not want to, but then I support your business.
mm,
But then that one's not for me.
yeah,
But then does that mean that you can't share it?
right. It doesn't mean that. It means that you should. But again, like, I think black people we are native to being like that. Like it's an
Yeah.
innate thing, bro. Just think about you like when you was younger, yeah. Always borrowing
Hmm.
your cousin's PlayStation 2 games. Always
Yes.
borrowing the memory card. Like we have this thing, right? Anytime you go
Hmm.
to a black party, there's tons of food there. There's a lot of that. Like there's always this thing, right? Of everyone partner. Partner's a great example, bro.
Say that again.
Partner. You know what partner is?
Partner. It's ringing bells, but I
Right.
couldn't
So
say I know
partner
who it
is
is.
like it's like a community bank, right? So you get 5 people,
Hmm.
or like you get 10. Let's say so you get 10 people, right?
I do
And
know what this is.
right,
Yeah.
right. So partner, yeah. For anyone who
Explain it
doesn't,
though, because I think it's good for for the
yeah,
class. You
yeah,
know.
definitely. So I mean, I'm a bit fuzzy, but this is from what I remember, yeah. So partner, you get
Hmm.
10 people, and everyone puts their money in each week, right? And then
Hmm.
once you hit the goal, then one person can take the money out,
Hmm.
and it's like a big sum because you're saving with everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people just keep putting in. So you just keep putting your money in, and then it's your turn to take. And then you keep putting your money in. Then a few months later, someone else's turn to take, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth until everyone's taken, and then you're done. So everyone's
Hmm.
had their P, and you use that to buy, I don't know, something big, do something big with it, right?
Of course. Yeah.
But this is the stuff that we do in our community. But it's like a lot of the times when we come up and we try to do new things, especially as a younger generation, I feel like we are more interested in sharing and trying to push each other forward because we have things like social media.
Yes.
It's nothing to just put someone's thing on your story, is it? You do it all the time. You don't even think about it, bruv.
You don't even think about it.
Right,
You just do it.
right. But just like you're saying, if we have, like, when you go on YouTube, there's like people who do reaction channels. So they
Yes,
just
I've
watch
seen
a little
quite a
something.
lot of those.
Yeah, bear with them, right? But all they're
Hmm.
doing is middlemaning content.
Yeah.
That's all they're really doing. Oh, look,
Yeah.
someone just made this video. I'm going to react to it, give you lot, because as an influencer, I'm going to give you my reaction. Then you go over to that
Yeah.
channel and tell them I sent you.
Yeah.
And it's a
Essentially.
similar thing, right? But again, like there's
Yeah.
not a lot of, I guess it kind of changes when there's collateral to be made. You know what I mean? When
Hmm.
someone could possibly lose out on sales because, in that shop, like there's another cocoa butter in that shop now. So if people want
Yeah.
that brand over my brand now, I can't eat. So I guess still a lot of that stuff, but I think
Yeah.
it's about joining together on a wider scale, having a
Yeah.
cabal of black businesses who, bro,
Hmm.
West Green Road is the perfect example. All them black businesses, if they were all synced up into one goal, like
Hmm.
if you had to go to this shop, do you know what I mean? And they're like, okay, cool. They got all the signage and all that stuff for the other shops. So then you got to go into that shop to see what they're selling, and you just move up and down the road until you get to the top, and then you're done. That's your day in West Green
Yeah.
Road. You see what I'm saying? Like I think
Yeah. Yeah.
up here it makes sense, but
Yeah.
ego and all this other stuff. But I think it's a native thing. I think we do it as black people. I think we do it just as standard, but there's somewhere where we lose it.
Yeah. It's where we start to think that. I personally think it's where we start to think that it's everyone outside of it is out for us.
Mm,
That may not even be the case. It may be the case. We've all known this stigma. There's always a stigma. I don't know. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel guilty when I'm walking around the shop, and if I've got my hands in my pockets, why do I feel guilty?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything, but
Mm.
I feel like I'm going to be viewed in a specific type of way
Right.
because I've got my hands in my pockets,
Mm.
or the security guard didn't see me come in the shop. So it's, oh, when did he get in here?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to have to experience that.
Right.
But that's based on a stigma through struggle. So if you've made people struggle throughout time, and the way that they've dealt with this struggle is to do outlandish, stupid shit,
Right.
and then it's become the norm, and then where do you go from there?
Mm.
If you are idolized, for example, you don't see just for example, like men in suits rapping about guns and drugs and all sorts. You just don't see them do it at all.
Right.
I know that there's obviously it comes down to what is acceptable amongst pop culture, especially as times do go on. But even if a person in a suit and tie did come up, we're not really going to take them serious because that's not what we're used to.
Yeah. We don't see you as that person. You can't
Yeah.
be our idol.
How can I relate to you if I never did that? If I never
Mm.
rocked the suit and tie? If I never had to pronounce my T's when I'm saying water? Do you know what I'm saying?
Bruv, that's facts,
It's
man.
just silly things.
That is facts, boy.
You get used to being at the bottom.
I think so, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think,
But again, equity. That leads straight back to equity.
yeah.
If we were given the same plateau, like I could
Mm.
live in a nice house instead of a fucking 14th floor flat,
Mm.
it'd be a very different story
Yeah.
in my eyes, anyway.
Yeah. That's real interesting, man. That's real interesting. Yeah. Right, man. I'm thinking about it as you're talking, but I think I don't know, bruv. Like there's something. There's something. But so I let me speak on the community, right? The community that I'm part of, which is the skating community, yeah.
Brilliant
In
community, by the way, bro.
bro, honestly, like we've been doing it for not that long, right? Like lockdown is when it's really in the UK, yeah. In the US is different.
Yeah,
But lockdown
yeah.
is when it's really started to become apparent that we it's not just about me. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
skating doesn't stop at me. Like I'm part of other things.
yeah.
And in the community that I'm involved in, and you're involved in it as well anyway,
Hmm.
we 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 have a system. Everyone puts up a video. Anyone who puts up a video, if we see it, we share it, right? And I'm watching your
Yeah.
story. I see that video. I share it, and then we're
Hmm.
just sharing, because we're all trying to eat.
Of course.
The problem is that there's no mark. You don't get to a certain follow count Instagram and they're like, yep, okay, you're gonna start making money now. It doesn't really work like that.
Of course.
If it did, we would be eating because we move like that.
Hmm.
It's just an innate thing that we do. Like as skaters,
Yeah.
you showcase everyone else's stuff, and it's your duty to showcase the stuff that you like and the stuff that you want to push out to your audience.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think if we all keep that, I don't know if there's a drone community, or I don't even know if you're part of a drone community, but I think if that becomes a standard, when us as potential business owners or potential entrepreneurs, I mean, most of us are, I mean, 25, like there's people younger than us that have businesses and are doing really well.
Yeah.
But like, there's no age on that growth or whatever.
Of course.
But
Of course.
us as potential business owners, if we keep that same ethos and have that same unspoken, unwritten code, I think that we are going to invoke the change that we want to see because we're pushing that agenda.
Yeah.
I think the place that
Yeah.
we
Agree.
lack is the idea that
So that was me.
no, it's cool. I think the place that we lack is the idea that our knowledge is consumed so quickly, and sometimes
Yes.
it's over YouTube. I mean, bruv, TikTok has been teaching, and TikTok's like 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? And like similarly, like you kind of expected to know all this stuff, especially when you get into business and There's a lot of that. So I think when I'm talking about business, I'm looking upwards to see my role
Yeah.
models, to see what they're
Yeah.
on, and then I'm like, okay, cool, put some knowledge on me. How do I use money? Like simple things like that. We don't have that, but we have this idea of community and this idea of unity.
Yeah.
So we have a strength on this side and a bit of a weakness on the other side.
Yeah. How do we then bring them together
Well, that's the thing. We got to bridge
to
that gap,
strengthen each other? Yeah.
and that's
Like,
it. Like,
I
go on,
think
bro.
one of those things would be everyone literally agreeing to no discounts.
Mm,
That would be a step.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what the service is. Like we know that at the end of the day, we know we can go to the, just for example, we can go to the nearest petrol station, pay £7, £10 for your car to get washed.
Mm,
But then you know your boy does mobile services, and he might be charging say 40, £30.
mm,
But you know he's got to eat. Same way that all of those man in this £5 to £7 or however much place, they're gonna eat.
mm,
But you don't know where that money's going.
right.
It's not staying amongst your community.
Mm,
Whereas if you're giving it to someone in your community,
mm.
it can come back around. And if you have a service yourself, it can be reciprocated on your end too.
Well, I think even to strengthen that, bro. Like, even if it's not your boy, even if
Hmm.
someone's like, hey, listen, like, I just got my car washed from these people. They're kind of expensive, but they're black people. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
they're not just black people, but there are people, because yes, black people are as our community, but bro, we're all from North London. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
where we live is our people. Yes, we all are all part of the most important part of what I am anyway, is part of the black community, and I strive to
Definitely.
push that community forward. But Tottenham is my people. Do you know what I mean? Like, people that live in Tottenham, people who are having the same issues as me, got up top, bro. Everyone's got to go to the petrol stations to top up their gas and electric. Do you know what I mean? Everyone ain't
Yeah,
that deep. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, I think even more so, like, even if it's someone you don't know, like, that's an opportunity for you to meet someone new and to put some money in
of
their pocket
course,
for a service that they're supposed to provide.
definitely.
So I think more so is the idea of sharing information, definitely, but also getting into this reading thing, or getting into finding role models, getting into pushing forward this narrative that yes, we can have business based on the fact that we have social media. I mean, it's easy to sell some stuff on social media now, bro.
Yeah,
It's easy to do that because we're good at social media. It's a lot easier than it
yeah,
was before.
yeah,
But yeah,
definitely easier.
yeah, definitely. I mean, how many drones could you make in a month, bro?
Mate, give me all the parts and I'd probably be able to churn out, say, 40 odd.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine if you could do that as on a sustainable level, and you had a sustainable fan base who was really trying to get into the hardcore side of drones, you could market up your drones quite high because they're specialist items.
Yeah.
And you don't need a store, you don't need a marketplace. All you need to do is put some pictures up on Instagram and sell them.
Hmm. Yeah, just again, this would be an opportunity to route in another person to supply their services.
Right.
And then whilst you're doing that, although we know that we don't see Argos necessarily tagging or saying, oh yeah, we got our stuff from here. That's more in the small print.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt for us to use our channels that we currently use to then tag that person, for example. So if you just bought something from somewhere, you could tag them. You
Right.
could take a picture and, oh yeah, that looks nice on me still. I bet you don't want this. Tag them in it as well.
Mm.
So I know where you got it from.
Right.
So it's just linking things together, you know?
Mm.
That's another thing that I definitely believe in.
Definitely,
It's a
man.
struggle because not all of my interests may be, sorry, not all of my interests may interest you.
Yes.
But if you see it, it there's no harm in even a click. Counts toward monetizing, for example.
It's true, man.
They keep these statistics amongst that video or
Mm.
whatever post it would be, and you may be able to make money off of it just because you've just made one small alteration to your post and added that one tag in there. just allows you to be a part of the larger picture.
I agree, man. I agree. I agree. I mean, that's where we. I think we're a lot closer to that than we were.
Yeah.
Like much more close, a lot more closer to the idea that you're supposed to share, you're supposed to like up, you're supposed to help people grow their following in order to have more opportunity. I think we're
Hmm.
closer there now, especially during lockdown, than ever before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Hmm.
like I said, I would sustain the notion that I think the place where we lack is the idea of practical knowledge.
Hmm.
There is a formula, just like there's a specific way to set up a bank account, just like there's a specific way to set up, I don't know, there's a specific way to do things, right? And there's a
Yeah.
specific way to open up an account. There's a specific way to start up a business. There's routes that you must take in order to understand how money works. There's ways, but nobody knows how to do that. And the people
Yeah.
who do know, the ones who aren't really part of our community, will say, "Hey, I'll teach you how to save money, or I'll teach you how to use money if you pay me £2,000." So now I'm in a position where I live in Tottenham. I don't have £2,000 just to pay you,
Precisely.
to hope that you're going to teach me all the shit I need to know in order to navigate the financial holes and loopholes that. Bruv, did you hear about the GameStop thing?
Yeah. That threw me right off.
Right. So, for those of you who don't know, there were a group of people who were investing in this company, this US company, games company called GameStop, right? And they were putting lots of money, and the stock grew. It was making people like millionaires overnight, because it was people just to troll Wall Street. So, people
Yeah.
who had invested money started to sell and were losing money based on the fact that the stock was growing because people were trolling Wall Street and making a killing. And this is it, bro. Because again, like, if you, I don't know if you understand anything about stocks, yeah, I don't,
I understand a bit about it.
right? But that's the thing,
Only I don't have the full story
right?
behind it, but
Right.
I understand a little.
Yeah, a rudimentary idea of how it works, right?
Hmm.
Like, you understand, you buy stuff, it goes up, you make money. Yeah, that's pretty much what you need to know.
Pretty much, and it
Yeah,
works, but vice versa as well.
yeah, yeah. It goes down, you lose money, right? The idea of
Hmm.
holding Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett, like, idea that, like, you buy and hold and stuff like that, right? There's
Yeah.
strategies, but there's a way to do it. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? There's a way, and you can be taught how to do that. But because no one that I
Yep.
look up to knows how to do that, oh well, there are people who, but
It
this is,
wasn't common,
this is not accessible knowledge, easily accessible knowledge. So,
or it's ridiculed from before you even got the opportunity to make a decision as such.
right, right.
So how many smart kids do you remember in school that may have been taking the mick out of just because they were good at maths, or they were smart and they cared about actually doing their work?
Way too many, bro. Let's say that.
Way too many.
Way too many.
And it's like, so this is where the block lands on people's lives.
Right. Ooh,
Mm.
shit. Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. Bro, that's a really heavy question. So, last heavy question, right?
Hmm.
How's lockdown going for you, bro? We're in our third season, season 3 of lockdown.
I was gonna say it is a third season, isn't it? Basically, 3.0 in that.
That's it.
Um, because I would say the first time round, like, so from the just to sum it up, the first time round allowed me to reflect on the things that I love
Mm,
and what I kind of want to do with myself when I kind of have the time to be able to do what I want to do.
right.
So I managed to find myself doing this drawing thing. Since I've started it, it's expanded my knowledge, it's expanded the community. So there is quite a large community in the drawing scene.
Yeah.
Um, there's loads, to be fair. There's loads of things. I would never have even just tried to take a few steps forward in my career, for example, like what I'm doing for actual work, my 9 to 5. I
Hmm.
never would have tried to step back from something else to try and do it.
Right.
Um, I would say the second lockdown was sort of just refining my abilities. But this third, I would say, third and final one, hopefully, hopefully,
I've got a pound on all the way through summer.
you've got to say that again.
I've got a pound bet
Yeah,
that we're going all the way through summer.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna come out of it so easily.
We might have breaks. We might have like small breaks.
Yeah,
Where
as we have,
yeah, where
it
Boris,
makes
you know,
sense.
he wants to meet his family, so he's got to close the lockdown, open us up, and then when he's seen all his family, lock it down again. You know.
Yeah, for real. And that Matt Hancock,
Right.
that
Yeah.
that funny guy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, you know,
Yeah,
absolute power craps absolutely, right? So we
of
move from
course.
that. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I think my third, like the third time round, it's been. I want to say it's been the most normal for me because
Mm,
I've moved, like I've changed job and stuff like that.
right.
It's allowed me to just go to work every day, get on with what I need to. The only things that I am missing is being able to go to a skating rink,
Right.
being able to go out for a drink
Mm,
or a restaurant and link up with the boys, like without anyone feeling, or what if one of you have it, or
right.
I I would say I'm dealing with it,
Yeah.
dealing with it. How
I think
about you? How you been taking it?
well, I was gonna say that I think that's the general thing right now. I think people are just kind of dealing with it.
Hmm.
Like I don't really see anyone. There's people blowing up, but I don't know if anyone's like, I don't know. I think it's too much of a meme now for it to be taken
Yeah.
kind of seriously, you know.
Hmm.
Um, for me, bruv, you know what? Like I said, the first one was something that we all needed.
Yeah.
I think in a sense, everyone needed just to stop, you
Yeah.
know.
That wake up call.
Yeah, yeah, or just an
There's more to
opportunity.
life.
Yeah, than just going to work and watching Netflix and going to bed.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think more so, it was just an opportunity for people just to take a step back. Like you said, right? You wanted to do this thing, but you wasn't gonna step away from work to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just kind of stopped for a bit, which is good. Like I think that's the one. And then the second one was like refining what we had, pushing forward. Something um, and it put you in a better position.
Hmm.
The third one feels like a tease now. Now it feels like they're taking a piss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, mate.
Flipping hell. So I'm proper in my eye, man. Yeah.
Probably a hair.
Yeah, bro. Most likely, man. Flipping hair.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But like, fucking shit just goes in my eyelash. I'm like,
Bro,
oh, what am I doing?
honestly, I got to walk around with like flipping like cloths and shit all the time.
Mm.
Something in my flipping eye. Anyway, yeah. And I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Like the third one just feels like they're taking the piss. And like all the
Yeah,
police that are
definitely.
really doubling down. I mean, I've still been skating, but every 5 minutes, man, I feel like they're following me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, that's one thing I can't wait for it to stop being like that. I don't want to. I really am tired of
Oh,
just. I haven't done anything bad in my
yeah.
life since I
Yeah.
was a child.
Mm.
Why do I still feel guilty if I do something? Like, not even that I'm doing something bad.
Yeah.
Like, or like I have to tell myself, oh, if I'm walking down the street, for example, and it's cold and I've got my hood up,
Mm.
I might see a lady walking toward me, and it's like, shit. I don't want you to feel intimidated or anything like that. And I
Yeah.
don't know it. I don't know if you are going to, but
Mm.
based on past experiences, stigmas that society has set, it's like, let me just take my hood off so you
Yeah.
can see my face and you feel, I don't know, maybe that might ease your anxiety.
Mm.
But then this is me making an assumption behind it.
Yeah.
So I don't have hard evidence. It's just based on a stigma.
Mm. And again, like just lessening yourself or changing yourself because there is
Hmm.
this stigma. Like you shouldn't have to do that. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you live or what time you're walking. Like you shouldn't have to do that because There's not a lot of people that are going to do that for you. But also, why do you have to change the way you think and the way you walk or the way you wear your clothes because you might offend somebody? Like, surely they should just not get offended because there's nothing to be offended by.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, but
bro.
you know what I mean, man. I'm sure
100%.
you know what I mean.
100%. And there's a lot of people who will potentially watch this who, without us even having to explain it, know what we're talking about.
Yeah, like for example, like I know people have been stereotyped just walking into their classroom in school. They automatically like having a teacher automatically assume that you're going to be a bad breed because you've walked in the class smiling with your friends.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but that don't make me bad breed. It
Of
means that
course.
I'm having a good day.
Exactly. I've had that.
Hmm. I had teachers who would send me out before I even stepped in the class.
I've had that. I'm not gonna lie.
Understand?
The times I got sent out, I deserved it though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was probably deserved,
Yeah.
but a lot of the time, I remember there was a period of time in school where I would literally touch the door handle and the teacher would shout, "Is that Jordan?" And I'm like, "Yeah, get out of my classroom." All right, cool. I didn't even get to step foot inside. Like you couldn't
Damn.
even see my face because you got to walk down the corridor to get to class.
Yeah. See, but that's it, man. I think like we're all used to that, and I feel like that's why we're kind of. I mean, in the skate scene, right? We're just waiting for the police to come because they're on us anyway. Because we're
Like, it honestly feels like that as well. Like
yeah,
even when I see you guys doing your thing,
yeah,
it's like I know there are some sour people out there
yeah.
who just want to bitch about shit.
Oh, of course, bro. We
Even
had
though you're being safe with it,
yeah,
like I see
yeah.
your stuff, you're all being safe,
Of course, as safe as you can be, and
as
we're
safe as you
outside.
can be.
We're outside. Do you know what I mean? We're outside. We're not in an office
Hmm.
building, and that's
Yeah,
fine. But yeah, we had a little. It wasn't even a link up, bro. We were just there, right? There was a few of us there. A few of us showed up, right? And
mm.
the police came. Thank God they were like decent guys, yeah. They came and they was like, "Ah, we've had a noise complaint," and I was like, "We
Mm.
wasn't even playing music, so how did you have a noise complaint?" And then they went back in the car. They were chatting for a bit, and bearing in mind where we're skating, they're parked right in the middle, so we can't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then when they came out, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We didn't have a noise complaint. Someone complained that were people in here breaching COVID, and I was like, bro, I said to the officer, I was like, listen, yeah, I understand you're doing your job, but don't you think you're wasting your time? And he was like, honestly, yeah. And I'm like, for you to say that, like, obviously, I appreciate your honesty, but for you to say that, like, there's a fundamental issue going on now. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely. Like,
You just said that, bro. You have just said that out of your own mouth that you think that you're just wasting your time.
yeah,
To what
and
end,
it's
man?
just people being sour.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
how did you get to that point in your life where you feel like it's alright for you to tear down someone else's parade,
Yeah,
basically?
yeah,
Someone else is enjoying their life. Oh, can't have that. You tear that down for you.
and it's sad, man. It's sad that we have to go through that. It's sad that we have to do that because we're just trying to get through lockdown like everyone else, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
like
it's a,
that could be your one release for the week. Do you know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying?
And for most people, it is. Most people, it is.
Hmm.
Every bro. I don't know anyone who hasn't just completely finished Netflix, bro.
Um, I'm kind of terrible. I'll watch the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
I'm like
But
that as well.
that is fucking
Yeah,
jarring.
it's jarring. It's jarring right now. But yeah, I've pretty much finished Netflix, and I don't even watch TV, bro. I don't even
Man
watch TV
clocked
like
it.
that. Yeah, I clock Netflix, bro. Platinum, everything, bro. Platinum awards, all that, bro. My eyes are getting attacked right now. This flipping hair. Yeah. So the last thing I want to ask you, bro, is what's your predictions for this year? Do you think we're gonna have an asteroid hit the world?
I haven't seen anything about that, to be fair. But I do think that we will. I feel like we will. I want to say get out of this,
Yeah,
like, but I feel like I'm being too hopeful.
that's a very interesting statement.
It's a. I know that we're definitely gonna stay through this through summer.
1 second, bro. 1 second. My eyes are getting attacked, man.
Yeah, go ahead, do you think, man?
know what? I'm not even gonna cut that out in the final form. Anyway, we move.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I think I'm better now. Bro, I don't know what that was. There was like some pixie dust in my eye.
Do you use anything in your hair?
Just like oil. I don't really like. Not really.
Okay.
But I learned a long time
Olive oil,
ago.
castor oil thing.
Yeah, so I use that castor oil like on my sides because like where my hair grows and like in on my scalp. But just like on the top, I just like coconut oil and stuff. But I don't use products anymore.
Same.
Yeah, because
Can't do it, man.
do you know what it is? Yeah, I realized a long time ago, a lot of these products they do not consume, and I'm like, your skin is your biggest organ. Like it's absorbing shit. How can I not consume it?
Exactly.
So
It's like, what are you telling me to do, really?
basically, you're
Telling me not to
saying don't
buy
use
it?
my stuff. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know, man. If I can't eat it, I don't want to put it on my skin. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fully feel you down. I feel you on that one still.
yeah. So it's a weird one, bro. It's a weird one. But
But
yeah, 2021 prediction, bro. Let me know.
that's it.
Give me some. I need one outlandish one, like something completely crazy that you might not even think will happen, and one that's like a real thing that you think will happen.
One outlandish thing is that I think will happen. Okay, it's outlandish because it's not necessarily common knowledge, and I'm probably going to be looked at like a bit of a psycho for this one,
All right.
or a weirdo.
The Purge. The Purge will start in the UK.
No, not even that. I feel like we will see aliens at some point, but I don't know if it will be this year.
Damn.
So I'll say that's my outlandish one.
Right.
But I would say on the less fictional side, I'm saying fictional because it's just not in my face right now.
Right. Right.
I would say probably just being able to go back to some form of normality,
Yeah.
not having to worry about what the next person is carrying airborne.
Right.
I still kind of feel like that's a little bit outlandish, but it's a hope.
Yeah.
It really is a hope.
I think
I
we
want
need
to see
that
my
right now,
family, man.
We need the hope, bro. We need that. Yeah.
Can't give up your shit.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one, bro. So
What about you? You got any predictions?
mine, my outlandish one
Go on.
is do you know what? I really think that we're gonna have a day or so where everything is just stopped.
That would be nice.
Like no, but I mean everything.
Bless you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Like everything. I'm talking internet.
Yeah.
I'm talking phone screens. Everything.
Sort of like a worldwide
Blackout.
ESP sort of thing.
Yeah. Like something's gonna happen and everything will just
I
stop.
feel like we need that.
Bruv, listen. I've been trying to get this book reading thing, bro. I started, yeah, and I get a few pages in. Like when I start, it's that you know when you go to the gym, right? It's like it's long to get to the gym, but when you're there, it's game time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? I gotta pick up the book. Picking up the book is the thing, but once I do it, 20 pages, 30 pages, I'm in, right? And I think just having the choice of not being able to do anything else. I think that's my outlandish thing. It was either that or Godzilla because they got a new movie coming out, and I was like, "Fuck it, why not?"
Oh, you cut out for a second there. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was saying it was either the blackout thing,
Yeah.
or Godzilla because they got a new movie coming out.
Godzilla.
One of those, bro. One of those. I don't know.
Yeah. Outlandish, man. You said outlandish.
Yeah.
Right, now give me something for a bit more close to home.
I think a more legit one is like what you're saying. I think the prediction late year is going to be that we'll get back to some level of normality. And I think with the idea that we're getting better at doing work from, or, you know, just like working from home and stuff like that. I think the fact that the technology is stepping up that way, I think they'll find a bit more of a opportunity for us to live a more simulated but close to normal life, as opposed to literally like not being able to see your boys and like literally
Yeah,
not being able to go outside. Like there will be a spot or like an idea that we can do that,
yeah,
if that makes
definitely.
sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's my prediction. But honestly, my prediction is we're gonna this virus and this lockdown thing is gonna carry on to 2022.
I
That's
hope it don't go into
me too,
2022, man.
me too, me too. Gotta get the crystals out, bro. Rub them all over your chakras, bro, and just hope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it,
You
man.
know exactly what I'm saying. Like, I need to get my missus to teach me more about
Bro, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
that.
But yeah, bro, I'm gonna let you go, brother. I appreciate you helping my first thing. This is
No
definitely a
worries,
thing.
man.
There's definitely a thing. We're gonna do a couple of these as I get better, as we both get better. We're gonna do a couple of these. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
it was nice having you, bro. I think we scratched the
Thank you for
surface
having
a
me,
lot.
man.
Bruv. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Trust me, I love having these sort of conversations, and it was a good one to have with you.
Me too,
Gave
man.
me a chance to get to know you a bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, I just see you skating, and that's it, man.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's nice to do things like this with people that you don't really know too well, because it's very easy
Definitely.
to fall into like inside jokes and things like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's nice that we just kind of could just talk on a raw level. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more inclusive this way.
I agree, man. I agree. See, that's marketing, bro. That's marketing right there. It's all up in the head. Anyway,
All
brother,
thought of, man.
that's it,
But
man.
anyway, my brother,
That's it. Yes.
thank
Last
you for
thing,
having
just
me, man.
put your socials. Tell me your socials again, just so if anyone's wants to check you out, where they go.
So my personal pages on Instagram would be Lord Simba 2ND, so Lord Simba the second, and my drone piloting one would be FPV Lad, and that'll be FPV LADD.
My G. Love, bro. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna hit you up later and let you know what I got with this. All right?
Love family. I've got one last thing to do.
Go on,
Yeah, I
bro.
just need to do a one little shout out
Let me know.
to the man them. I need you all to check out Splash and Drip.
Splash and drip. Come
Go
on.
on the Instagram. They'll be able to cater to all your vehicular needs. So
Ooh,
if you need your car to be cleaned or your bike to be cleaned, but deep, proper, intense clean, go to my people. Them they will
fire.
sort you out.
My G.
And I would say a second one would be check out Skate Things, man. If you
Come
haven't
on.
seen it,
You already
do the
know, bro.
thing.
Merch on the ting. You already know how it goes, bro.
Trust me.
Never lacking. Yes.
Ah, sorry. Thought of one more.
Go
Thought of
on,
one
bro.
more
Let me
because it's
know.
gonna. If I have to say this, A3 Trims. Check that out on Instagram.
Yeah, I
He's
think.
my brother. I ain't got a trim right now, but he patterns me all the time. He can come to you. He'll pattern you.
My
Trust
G.
me.
Love it,
He's
bro.
been doing high level trims for high level. I would say UK celebrity. Put it that way, innit?
I like it, bro. I like it. Anyway, my brother, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I'm gonna chat to you soon.
Catch you soon, man.
In a bit,
Hopefully
bro.
we'll skate real soon.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. In a bit, brother.
Love family.
Safe.